think what's happening now is essentially all the stuff that was already happening to black men with, unemployment, firings. It's now happening to everybody else. And people, this is my analysis on the situation, man, from a black male's perspective. And it's a lot of black men that feel this way. What's happening now with the, black unemployment or black women being, fired en masse from federal positions that they've probably been in for a long time. So it's a mass firing. And then you have, recessionary indicators, red flags are firing off everywhere. I looked at the price of gold, the chart, the gold stock. I've never seen a green bar. I've never seen a graph or a stock chart shoot up that much within, less than a year. So, things are pretty bad right now, right? But from a black male's perspective, this is my analysis. I always say this: black men are the canary in the coal mine, or black males are the canary in the coal mine, because the things the worst things that happen in society on a larger scale or on an aggregate, they've already been happening to us in perpetuity, right? There's a constant of these things happening to black men, whether it be, underemployment, unemployment, whether it be over policing, right? The militarizing of police, racial profiling, anything you can possibly think of, it's already happening to black men. So I think what's happening now is essentially all the stuff that was already happening to black men with, unemployment, firings. It's now happening to everybody else. And people, but it becomes an alarming issue only when it happens outside of the black male demo. That's my point, right? That's the only time it becomes, oh, we've got to do something. This is out of control. For example, people don't know this, and I heard this recently, from a podcast that I listened to that's led by, it's like a tenured professor. He's really into research data. He said it's interesting when black women's unemployment shot up, and I think it was the second quarter of this year. When black women's unemployment shot up, it surpassed black men's unemployment for the first time, I want to say in decades, right? So there's a constant where black women are much more employed than black men. That doesn't necessarily, you can argue over the reasons for that. I don't think it's a phenomenon or a function of being more employable. I think it's a function of they're just hired more. But that's just my conjecture. But anyway, for the first time in decades, black women's unemployment shot beyond black men's. That's when it became a big issue in the media. You saw stuff floating all over social media, regular media, corporate media, whatever, what have you. What people don't know is that a month or so after that happened, things went right back to normal with black men's unemployment going beyond black women's unemployment, and black women's unemployment kind of stabilized, right? But my point is, you wouldn't know about it because it wasn't reported on. It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't seen as a salient issue in any space, right? So it just goes to show that, again, black men are really the canary in the coal mine. And we, what's happening to us, whenever it's happening to us, there's no sense of urgency. And there's only blame. That's the other thing. There's never this stance of there's something systemic going on. This is being imposed upon black men. We have to, intercede on their behalf. Things have to change. No, it's blame them. It's their fault. That's it.